by the name of Jan Sylvia, Director for Golden Women Vision in Uganda. Golden Women Vision Uganda was founded in 2011 to date. I'm an activist working for the organization. It was founded by like 5 women activists who saw the worsening situation of our vulnerable people suffering during the insurgency in northern Uganda. It was during the Lord's Resistance Army called the LRA war that happened in northern Uganda, whereby he was a terrorist who killed millions of children, of women. Women were abducted, children were abducted, forced into slavery, forced into also carrying the guns, carrying heavy luggages. People were abducted and punished and killed like animals. So Golden Women Vision saw that it was really very hard, and most of these activists are the people who suffered during the insurgency in northern Uganda. There was a lot of suicidal cases during that time because there was nothing that the women could do, the children could do due to the abduction that took place. So even during that time, we had to making sure we invited all the religions so that we could be together to stop violence in different communities, in different churches, calling for total peace to be prevailed. So regarding what Golden Women Vision had been doing, we targeted the war survivors and gender-based violence survivors. These are the people who suffered most during the war in northern Uganda. Because since 2011 to date, Golden Women Vision had been trying with all its level best to make sure the women are engaged in various activities, and children born from captivity also feel that they are human beings. And the women who came back from the captivity during the LRA abduction, who came back and had nowhere to stay, Golden Women Vision was there to bring in and support them in any way. So Golden Women Vision Uganda tried with all its level best to engage the women who came back from captivity during the LRA war by putting them together, getting the paper beads, so they made the paper beads, the jewelries, they could tell their stories. The women also brought in, they could tell their stories and then become strong. So stigma and discrimination is really still there for the survivors. Life became so difficult for the survivors. Life itself became difficult, and up to now, if you are to see where the war survivors are staying in, the grass thatched houses which they are staying in is even leaking. Other people have nowhere even to stay. You see, so Golden Women Vision in Uganda engaged them in these activities, and then also they were even made to begin baking the cake. We trained them to bake the cakes and sell even on the street so that they don't become beggars. They could look for food via that sale. So after, when they get the profit, they buy with food, they fulfill their household needs, and then the rest next time again they buy. So this is basically what Golden Women Vision had been doing. Even what they did was that most of these women, they don't know their rights. We went as far as engaging them, training them on access to justice so that they should know their right as human beings. Women were chased from home. Women were beaten. They could keep quiet. They throw them out. You see, children born from captivity, they had nowhere to stay. So we brought all of them together, making sure that they're also human beings, and they were not forced to go to the captivity. They were just abducted. So as we trained them on access to justice, they started getting to know their rights. But like during the pandemic at this time, life has become very, very difficult for these survivors. You see, even some of them are committing suicide because there was lack of food. There's nothing that they could eat. So we had some beans, so we even supported them with the beans and posho. The women themselves also made the liquid soap so that they could even wash with their hands, because they could not even afford to get even the face, the mask to protect themselves. So it was very, very difficult for them. And now, as some of them cannot even afford to eat, they cannot do anything, there's a lot of gender-based violence in different communities as I speak. So we are receiving a lot of cases. Now we could not go in a very big crowd. We had to talk through the phone, which is really very difficult sometimes. Now, as I see, the achievement that we had also been doing was like mediating the minor cases that brought the gender-based violence. We even call upon the men, the two couples together, if they could come, and then we share and then try to get the cause of the problem to solve those issues amicably. Golden Women Vision does not mind, because since we are also part of the URA, we don't want people to practice, like to begin beating one another, causing violence in communities. What we want is peace. Also, Golden Women Vision, we were the first ladies to bring the Interfaith March for Peace and Justice in Gulu. We marched through the street, making sure people, we were like putting some writings like we want peace, love one another, we belong to you. So they should, you see, so things really was not very easy. We marched right from the district council hall with a band, and then telling people didn't know what to do. So they were like, what's Golden Women Vision doing? But we're trying to advocate for peace. We wanted peace, we wanted change. Women should not be beaten because there is lack of food, there is what. We also belong to societies. We are mothers for the nation. So we are being put silent. We cannot even talk. They beat us. 3/4 of the women here, the survivors, are being beaten. They beat them, they keep quiet. They beat them, they keep quiet. So if you are to see, some of them are having chronic illnesses in their uterus. You see, they have problem because during captivity they were gang raped, and now they fear even to talk about it. They are dying silently, which is resulting into cancer and chronic illnesses. You see, so as I see what we could think about what Golden Vision can do, but due to, we could not like do further due to our limited resources, we cannot, but there is need for food security to be done, so that when food security is done, we have this project of food security, the women could afford to get something to eat. The women could afford to pay their children to school. The women could also meet their household needs and even like pay for the rent, pay for what they need, like food and any other things. So since there is lack of food, and there is really high need of the food security, if it could be put into place so that things goes on high. So these high cases of gender-based violence in communities is really breaking the heart of the women. Women are dying. There is need to have the radio talk show to sensitize everyone who is down there listening, so that they should know that fighting is very bad. Fighting kills. People should advocate and be talking peace in their families. So basically that is what we can do even with gender-based violence, even organizing the meetings, having dialogue, calling upon the stakeholders together with the perpetrators, and then also other people, the neighbors, so that we could teach people that they should know that women also have their rights. Women need life. Women are there for the people. They should know that we also have a voice as women. You see, so basically those are some of the things we need to think about. Also, some of these survivors really have poor access to justice. There's no one who could, like, if they are beaten, most of the survivors, they take them. When the case is reported, the perpetrators goes and pay their way out of the police. They came out and then begin beating the women again. So such kind of laws, really, like in our country, it need to be addressed very clearly, you see, and it has to be followed. So there's the high number of vulnerable women and young people. They are seriously affected with COVID-19 pandemic. As I said, they could not even afford to eat food. If they eat today, tomorrow they are not sure. But Golden Women Vision tried to give some little food for them, but now it has become difficult for the organization to buy food and give to the vulnerable survivors. So the number of vulnerable young people cannot afford to meet the education requirements, like school fees and scholastic materials, due to high level of poverty. Though the pandemic, even if there was, like, they had not stopped people from studying, it was very difficult for the young people to go to school. Some of the children of the survivors who came back with them from captivity, they could not afford even to pay their children to school during that time when children were studying. So life was very difficult to them, you see. So there is high number of most vulnerable women and children. There's high, you can see that we have child-headed households because some of these parents died during war, and we have children who are staying alone in their houses, like 5 children in one house. And during that time when there was school, they could go to school in shift. So now you can imagine, life became very difficult for these children. So Golden Women Vision had to go and visit them, meeting them, talking to them. And there is high need of the psychosocial support to be given to these survivors and the children born from captivity, because they thought there's no hope in life. They think there's no hope in life, you see. So if we could involve, like, food security, because we have been supporting them with food, but now there's no more food. They are dying hungry. If you eat today, tomorrow you're not sure whether you're eating. So even me, I starve for them. If I take my breakfast, then I eat tomorrow, you see, because all the time they call me mama. Even older like me calls me mom, because I feel touched. See, I feel really touched. So Golden Women Vision saw the women they could not even afford to get soap. We made some small factory making the liquid soap, but it was small. That was 3 months ago. So we thought if we could begin making more liquid soap and different type of soap, so that we could distribute to the vulnerable survivors, and though we give them to sell, it will help them. So we really, this is basically what we have been doing, and we really need to see that there is peace everywhere we go. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. And I'm gonna, are you okay with taking some questions? I assume you're at your stopping point now. Yeah, okay. Does anyone have any questions or comments that they might ask? I know my immediate reaction is, kind of what can we do to help here in the United States? Like, how can we get involved with the work that you're doing, and all of the cooperation circles within the North American network? What do you think the best course of action would be for us?
Yeah, you asking me? Hello? Yeah, thank you so much. I think, as the women born from captivity, and then children born from captivity, and the women who came back during the captivity, life has become very difficult for them. If there is a way they can be empowered or to do something for themselves, will be very good, so that they don't become beggars in the future, because they need to look for food to feed their families. And also, if there is a way that Golden Women Vision can be supported, so that we make also the liquid soap factory, we can make various type of soap, then we could give the vulnerable people who could not afford also to fight the pandemic, and then to wash their clothes, and then they look at least, because they still need life. And the other way, if we could make the food security, it will be very good, so that they don't die of hunger. We could get some seeds and then also distribute to them. We have land, we have big land here that we could, I guess the tractor, we go and dig, and then also plant some food. When we plant the food, we could also give them and they eat, so that we don't buy tomatoes, we don't buy beans. If we are supported in our garden, it will also be very good, because we have some small piece of land where we could like make that one, so that we give them food. Also, the survivors came back from captivity, especially the women are suffering a lot, and the children. If they could also get even grass thatch house, just a grass thatch house where they could sleep in, so that they don't go for rent, or maybe we can be supported, so that we build for them grass thatch house, not with the mabati, we call it mabati, then it could really help them, so that they could sleep in with their children, because they are being chased away from their home. They came back from captivity when they were young, and they felt like getting men to stay with. Also with the children they came back with from captivity, the men chased them away. After chasing them away, they had nowhere to stay. So Golden Women Vision had been trying with their level best. We bring them to office. Sometimes they don't have a place to sleep in with their children. So, and the office is not very big. They could sleep under the veranda. So I sit there with them, you see. Now it's very worse at this time during the pandemic, because there is nothing, we need to protect ourselves, but I have to serve them to eat something. So food security, small factory, and then the bakery, because we train some of them how to bake the cakes, and then the wedding cakes, queen's cake, different type of cake, but they still need more training to get some other designs, and you see, so, and the decoration, so we engage them in that. So if you could have a small factory of the bakery, then they could pack the cakes, they could make some cookies from Golden Vision Uganda, and then distribute and could sell, then the income will be supporting them. As I said this, because some of them could not meet the medical bill. So if this is done to them, it will help them to help the Golden Women Vision Uganda to cater for even their hospital bills. So right now it's very hard. So if Golden Women Vision can be supported in this, then it will really be of help. Because we're in a poor country and just trying really to survive. Like as me, I grew up in the IDP camp. When I was abducted by the rebel, I suffered and I lost all my parents. So any person I see, any child I see I belong somewhere. So I feel they need not to lose their life, because they mean a lot to the world. So basically, these are what I think. And then also, if they could be supported during the school fees, maybe somebody want to pay maybe 1 or 2 to school is even good, because we have even 3 now at the university. Sometimes they chase them away. They chase them away due to school fees, but we try, but it's now hard. School fees, if they are supported, also will also help. The small factory, food security, and also the small factory for the liquid soap production and the cake. It will be job creation. The women will be working in the factory, in the bakery, they earn something and they don't become beggars. So this is our dream. If we could be supported, would be of great help.
Could you maybe share some links with me for how people can donate or connect with your projects, and I can send that out to everyone who registered? Would you be able to do that?
Oh yeah, I can send you. We have the bank account.
Okay. Do you have an online donation through your website or anything?
No, we don't have that one. If there is a way, Interfaith Center can help us in that, will be very good, because we could not even afford to get the the website design. It was a bit difficult for us, and we started making it, so we stopped on the way. We were just requesting if Interfaith Center could help us, and if people could put something there, donate something in the center, it's safe for us. Yeah. It's safe for us because after donation, then we also have the bank account for the organization. Then after they have donated something, it can be transferred to the organization account, because in the organization account, we have 3 signatories to the bank. Then we could, 3 people could go and get the fund. It will be very safe. That is my kindly request to the Interfaith Center to support us in that.
Sure, we'd be happy to accept the donations on your behalf, and then I can do the deposit for you. So, okay, so are there any other questions? And you can unmute yourself if you'd like.
For me?
No, everyone else.
Thank you.
I'd love to ask a question. Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah from South Africa. And Sylvia, it's really lovely to see you again and to hear your story. I think every time I hear you, I always feel just so incredibly inspired by the work that you're doing to empower women on the ground and in such a difficult context as well. And so I just want to appreciate you for the work that Golden Women Vision is doing, and thank you, Geneva, and to the Interfaith Center as well for hosting this conversation. Sylvia, I'd love to know what keeps you going, like what motivates you, in particularly when you, I know a little bit of the context, and from what you've shared, it's can be incredibly heartbreaking, some of the situations that you're having to face, and I'd love to know how you stay inspired and motivated in your work.
Thank you so much. Regarding that, I'm excited to meet you. I'm happy. What keeps me going is the love I have in me, and the life, the women and the children, because they still need life. And I feel I have to do something for them. As I said, like I had this in mind where I've written somewhere that so long as I'm still alive, I'll try with all my level best to create any possibility for these vulnerable women. because the suffering that I underwent during the insurgency and during the captivity with my fellow activists made me to keep going, whether I did not get any payment or what, I am doing it for peace to be prevailed on earth and for the love I have for the people, so long as I'm still alive.
Does anyone else have any comments or questions? Nobody? Okay, well, okay. Jason says he's looking forward for a chance to donate. So we'll definitely get all of that set up. So you've talked a lot about food insecurity. I'm curious what you think is at the core of the violence occurring. Do you think it's mostly the food insecurity crisis, or is there something else that's really the catalyst here in this specific situation? Did you hear me? Okay. Did you say? Could you talk a little bit about what you think is at the root of the conflict? Do you think it's the food insecurity that's perpetuating most of the violence, or do you think there's some other root systemic cause?
Regarding that one, food security, because they need to eat and then also be strong. So you can get everything working, but if you have not eaten anything, you will not be able to do anything. So I feel like food security is important for them because they could get the greens and also do other things as well. In food security, I think this is better also. When they do this food security, it makes them also to do their village saving because they have been engaged in the village saving. So food first. You see, when you're going to take even any medication, if you don't have food, it's really very difficult for you to get strong and then the medicine to work on you. So we feel food makes them grow, make them strong. So I feel food is very important in that way. So if they keep on growing more rice, like they could grow rice, they could grow cassava, beans, Irish, so they could eat. Even if we distribute for them the seeds, it will help them, it keeps them healthy as well. So that they don't just sit, they have to do food security to support their health and burning more calories. Yeah, basically this is what I can say. And it will also help them to miss their medical bill sometimes if it's hard, because at times when they fall sick, it's sitting. So when they do this is exercise, gives them energy. So the excess energy gets relieved when they do their hard work. But for us here, we do it with our local hoe. You see, with the local hoe, because food security is very wide. Can think about like getting maybe the cows, those kind of thing. The cows for milk, that is also part of the food security, so that they could like get milk out of it. So those are part of the thing. But I feel at this time for Golden Women Vision Uganda, locally, they could make their own food security if there is a way they can be supported. Yeah. Yes.
Looks like Jason put a link in to donate. Are you through the Borgen Project? Are they collecting donations on your behalf?
The what?
The Borgen Project, are they collecting donations for you? Jason put a link. Can you see the chat box, Ikan?
The Borgen, let me see the chat. We are doing able to donate to the Borgen. No, here are we? No, don't. Hello. Yes. No.
Is that not a good place to donate?
Okay. Yeah, let me talk about the. Okay. Okay. Borgen project cannot support. Okay, has never. Let me answer this.
You can answer it verbally if you want.
Supported our project. Yes. Okay. Regarding the Borgen project, when I Googled Golden Women Vision Uganda, I was asking Borgen, how did they get to know something regarding Golden Women Vision Uganda? I told them they put even somebody's name, I mean the picture, different picture. Then I was asking them, I sent for them the mail. I tried even to get their number. Why are they using, what is Borgen? Because I don't know anything regarding Borgen. So when you Google Golden Women Vision Uganda, you bring like it's Borgen project, which I don't know. You see, had sent for them several questions, but they told me, no, we are going to change. So anything regarding Golden Women Vision should not be taken to Borgen. So I'm still in the process of asking them, how did they get to know? How are they getting the fund through our organization? That is fraud already, which is not good. So if somebody wants to support Golden Women Vision, from now we have never used any organization, we have never used, so we want to use Interfaith Center because we don't know Borgen. I'm still in the process of getting them close as to why they are using that. I want to know them. Though we are women, they think we don't have voice, but I'm going to ask. I've already sent them mails. Yeah.
Well, I
So
really
don't use Borgen.
Yeah, Jason, I'm glad you brought that up so that nobody is sending donations to the wrong organization. So, so let's see. We should work on closing down their attempt to affiliate. Yeah, I definitely agree. That's incredibly problematic. So the Interfaith Center, like I said, I'm happy to accept online donations on your behalf if people are more comfortable giving in that way and then transferring them to you. So I'm glad you brought that up, Jason. And that's that's incredibly problematic. So are there any other comments or questions that anyone has? I see Sally has just joined us. Hello. Does anyone have any comments or questions? Martha, looks like you might have had a question in the chat. Did you want to ask her directly?
I just wanted to thank OKELLO for a wonderful, wonderful presentation. And every time you do this, OKELLO, you create another long link and lasting. And I also wanted to thank Geneva for setting this up. You might want to put your contact information and we can leave a note for OKELLO. I'm a Kiva donor, OKELLO, and it was time for me to make my contribution so I can redirect some of that toward interfaith and perhaps you can connect me there, Geneva, and then we'll forward it to OKELLO. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for seeing you.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that we have a circle at the United Nations, and that it's just always a privilege and a gift. And I'm very grateful to United Religions Initiative for creating the means for us to meet directly. I remember the days when you had to travel there to get to know projects, and here we get the opportunity to do it one-on-one. And I see two other international leaders are on this call too, Sarah Oliver and Sally Mahe. So that just know, even though the group is small, small can be very mighty. And so the time you've given to us is very special. And I just wanted to thank you. All good things to you. You're a new circle. Do you want us to tell us just a bit about you?
So we're relatively new. We joined probably within just the past year. I've been the program director since August or August of last year, 2019. So we've been active for probably at least 6 to 8 months as a cooperation circle now. Our work is really diverse. We tend to focus on, we do a lot of virtual programming right now because of COVID. And we tend to focus primarily on either interfaith dialogue and cooperation and dismantling misconceptions people have about other cultures and other religions. And then we also focus on this area of like social justice and social action, trying to unify people of different worldviews around common shared moral and ethical concerns, which is why I think it's inherent to our mission to help support organizations like Golden Women Vision in Uganda and provide a voice and a platform for them to do so. So I'm really grateful for you all being here, and I am broadcasting this live on Facebook, and I'll send out a recording. So we will, even though we have a smaller group, I know it's the time. Trying to find like something across so many time zones can be a challenge, but we will get this out there, and I've put a link in the chat for how to donate to the Interfaith Center. If you just put it in the comments that you want it to go to Golden Women Vision in Uganda, so that I can redirect that, it would be great. So I'm really grateful for all of you, and I'm grateful to Akan Sylvia for being here and for sharing her story and for just being so empowering and uplifting women all around the world. I think we really look to that as a model, and we could honestly use it in the United States. So especially now, the upcoming election. So yeah, did you have any is there Akan Sylvia, maybe just give us some closing words, what the biggest thing you want us to take away from today as we move forward? Just to wrap it up, because I'm not sure if we have any more questions.
Can I just say one thing before OKELLO closes? I'm so sorry to be late, but I'm so glad to join this group. And yes, I've been with URI since it started for over 25 years almost now. And just Geneva, for your CC to reach out and say, oh, let's put together a call here that supports Golden Women Vision is so important. That seeing one another, lifting each other up, appreciating is recognizing, but it's saying we really, we value not just what you do, but who you are and how you do what you do, and every day that comes with its ups and downs. So that's why even though I could only be here for the last few minutes, and OKELLO, I'm so sorry I couldn't hear more from you, but I hope this happens again, and it'll be a priority for me to come and participate. So I just wanted to say thank you for having it, and I'm glad I could just say a few words.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. And if any other CCs are interested in kind of using our platform to help amplify what they're doing, please reach out to me. Put my email in the chat. So yeah, did you want to just give some closing words?
Myself?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
why we're here.
I would just like to thank everybody who was in this platform for taking and listening to my stories and the stories of the women, children born from captivity, and the women suffering, the vulnerable women in our community in Gulu. So thank you so much for taking this and having your ears open for me. Thank you so much. I will continue just trying to see. I have to talk on their behalf. If there is anything you want to donate, please help me and donate to Interfaith Center so that it will be directed and we shall all do the thing right and then give you back the report. I'll be very much happy for all this. For any support that will be given to support the work of Golden Women Vision Uganda, it will be a very kind big heart for you to do that. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. And let's be united together as we talk for peace. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Blackmer. Blackmer, thank you.
You are most welcome. And so thank you all. And I will connect with you and then I'll send out a follow-up email with all the information about how to connect with Golden Women Vision in Uganda and how to donate. So thank you all for being here, and I hope that you have a wonderful day or evening, depending on where you are.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.